Hi guys, good morning. So this is going to be our assignment today. The first thing you're going to need is your notebook, opened up to the 2 pages we glued in this week. The top starting with 5 organizational types. We're going to go over those different types of organization when it comes to your writing and reading nonfiction pieces. So you're going to need that and also a pencil. So think about organizing really anything in your life. You can see here there's your locker, which you guys don't use, but you have your bedroom, your desk, anything like that. If it's not organized the way at least you can understand it, then it's going to just seem like a hot mess. You may know where things are, but the people around you who need to find something may not. So with that, strong organizational patterns of writing, we do and use these patterns because they draw the reader in, enhance and showcase a central theme or storyline. Everything fits together. It's not like those hot messes in your bathroom or your bedroom where things just are everywhere. There's not a single place for something. And it's kind of like a puzzle. That's what we have to think about it as. And all the pieces should hopefully fit together. We want to think about organization like the foundation of a house or like a skeleton. It's the inside stuff, it's the stuff that your reader shouldn't have to think about because you've done such a good job. And it's the before the building of the house or the outer layers of your skin are applied, and it's the stuff you usually don't notice as much. And its job is to just hold everything together. So how do we organize? We organize our papers through 5 different formats. Those would be sequencing, or we also talked about chronological, description, compare contrast, cause and effect, and problem solution. So in your notebook, you should have a page that looks like this. Turn to that, please. And we're going to just talk a little bit about each of them. And while we are talking, while I'm kind of just reading it to you, I want you to fill in the blanks, please. So description writing or descriptive writing, it should evoke the senses. Okay, what we see, what we hear, what we taste, what we smell, what we touch. We want to show what's happening and not tell. We're going to go over some examples of each of these, but there are a ton. Okay, these are just a few of smaller examples, but these could be novels, and all of us know if we're reading a book, if the author does a really good job showing us and not telling us, we usually end up loving the book. If the author just kind of tells us what happens, the book can be kind of boring. A lot of movies we watch and TV shows, those tend to be more descriptive. Then sequence. Sequence again, it could be sequence or chronological. Details are arranged in the order of how they happened. So again, we think of this as a timeline or a recipe. You could use transition words like first, second, third, and so on. Examples, if you have done science experiments or science reports, and also biographies. Who was, what was, those types of things usually are told in sequence or chronological order. Our next page looks like this. It should be right next to it on the right-hand side. The next one we have is a compare contrast. It's usually about 2 things or ideas. It can be about more, but it has to be at least about 2 things. We look at how those things, those 2 or more, are similar and different. You want to make sure that you usually both, you show the similarities and you show the differences. You explain why you are comparing the things. So usually you can write these in many different ways, but you could have a paragraph about how they're similar, a paragraph about how they're different, and then explain why you're comparing them. Examples of this in social studies, you may see comparing 2 world wars, World War I and World War II. In science, it could be rocks to minerals. Lots of things that you could do this on, but again, the job is to show how they're similar and different. Our 4th example would be cause and effect. Usually this organizational pattern begins with a statement giving a cause for a problem. Our example that we saw in our text structure, Show What You Know 1 through 8, was what started the Civil War. So we have a statement, and then from there, the problem was a war was created. So usually they give specific effects are then added. Examples of this would be global warming or good grades. Getting good grades is a tough job, right? And then you could talk about the what you can do because I study, because I ask questions, because I take time to do my homework. The effect is I get good grades. And the last one we're going to look at is problem and solution. This one was the example of the endangered species. And so you're introducing a problem. This animal is going extinct, and then you give ways to fix or solve the problem. Examples of this could be friendships, and the problem could be. Please begin sanitizing your room. The problem could be I'm fighting with my friends all the time, right? And then solutions to that, or saving money. Right now, I don't have any money, and I'd like to save money. That's usually a problem. So now these notes are going to be checked the next day you're in class, and then you will move on now to the next assignment in the red folder.